Canada has been a founding NATO member and a strong champion of collective defence. Our Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, has accelerated our commitment to meet the 2% spending target by the end of this fiscal year, and we're firmly committed to reaching 5% of GDP by 2035. Now, NATO's Article 5 has been the cornerstone of the alliance for more than 75 years. In a context of hybrid warfare, cyber warfare, threats to critical infrastructure, and violations of the airspace of NATO members, all things that have been mentioned this morning, how has NATO's thinking evolved around what the threshold is to trigger an Article 5 response? So another way of saying this, at what point does the cumulative weight of these hybrid attacks constitute the armed attack that Article 5 was designed to address? Is there a new red line that we need to communicate to deter these new types of aggression and ensure our collective defense? Thank you.
Championing this. Then on the second question by Julie Dzerowicz from Canada. Hi, thank you for that question. I mean, let's not make the Russians or any other adversary too knowledgeable about Article 5. We always have maintained a certain pleasant, let's say, unclarity to the outside world when Article 5 is triggered, and that ambiguity is exactly part of how we deter and defend. But I can assure you that when it comes to cyber, when it comes to hybrid, of course, we have to incorporate it in our thinking. This is exactly what we are doing. But also, we are allowed to. A lot happened the last couple of weeks. We have seen the drones, and this is also to the Polish question. The drones now 3-4 weeks ago into Polish airspace. We have seen the 3 MiG-31 entering Estonian airspace. We have seen, of course, what happened around in the run-up to by Denmark hosted special EU Council and extraordinary EU Council and then European Political Community meeting only 2 weeks ago now. And we know that it was Russia, Russian drones and Russian MiG-31s in Poland and Estonia. We don't know whether it was intentional or not, but we do know they were Russian, and we do know whatever they were intentional or not, it was totally reckless and unacceptable. With the drones in Denmark, it's famously difficult to assess where these things come from, but they were not coming from the Danish government, I can assure you. And I was really proud how 9 countries in NATO came together, working together with Supreme Allied Commander, with NATO supporting that effort, and 9 allies coming together to make sure that Denmark was well protected when these 2 important meetings took place. But we can also take some comfort from how we reacted. The Dutch F-35 shooting down drones over Polish airspace. Italian F-35 pilots escorting these MiG-31s out of Estonian airspace. I often get the question, do our authorities have all the authority they need to deal, for example, with when MiG-31s or other Russian objects fly into NATO airspace? I can assure you they have trained for this, they have prepared for this. This is not new, we do this since the 1960s and 1970s, since the Soviet days. And when these planes would pose a threat, we can do the ultimate. As long as they don't pose a threat, we will gently guide them out of our airspace and make sure they understand they should better not do this again. And I think this is exactly how we should react. And it's exactly what the Italians did in the Estonian case, and I think that was very wise. And of course, we then have to make sure that also the Russians know that we know that they know that we know. But then, of course, the question is it intentional? That is always famously difficult to assess. And I'm really with you, and this is also to the point that Joanna made. I really want to thank, in your case, the Italians, the Germans, the Dutch, when it comes to the MiG-31s in Estonian airspace. It was again Italy, together, I think it was with Sweden and Finland, who were helping there. So and the Russians know this. And we also know that their MiG-31 pilots are famously not well trained, all part of the fact that their military are not in the best shape.